Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I am super excited because we get to go over the brand new professional Zane skill tree. Now, this skill tree is super awesome. It is full of different, very interesting skills that I know that all of you guys are going to love a lot. And we have some secrets to the skill tree that, of course, I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And by the way, this is the skill tree that I have probably obviously tested the most in depth, so I will have the most to share about this skill tree compared to some of my the other skill trees I've covered. And yeah, with that being said, I will also be posting a Zane gameplay reveal alongside this video in the pinned comment, the description, whatever. Go check that out. You're definitely going to want to see it. Now, with all that being said and all that out of the way, let's hop straight freaking into it. Just don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, that's about it. Now, this skill tree, the professional purple, a beautiful skill tree, features the brand new action skill, the Mantis shoulder cannon. Now, the Mantis shoulder cannon is very, very awesome. It is basically like rack attack, but you can spam it a lot more and a lot faster. So let's go ahead and show you that real quick. So basically you can see our action skill, we have 3 charges and it just shoots a beam of energy. Now, what's awesome about this is I can reload guns like this. You can shoot your shoulder cannon no matter what you're doing. Now, what's really awesome about the shoulder cannon is that it actually will get your crit bonuses. So if I go ahead and swap to the Skullmaster here, which has plus 33% crit damage, we will see that in the shoulder cannon. So let's shoot. Without that, it does 24k. Let's swap to the, and you see it goes up to 32k almost immediately. So once again, 24k. Swap with plus 33% crit. Let's wait for that cooldown. And 32k. Now, this can be boosted even further using class mod. So let's go ahead and toss on this 24% weapon crit damage on our class mod as well. All right, we gotta wait for that cooldown. And we go up to 39k. So the shoulder cannon will get your crit bonuses. And yes, that means that you can crit swap it with the Unforgiven. But that's not the necessarily the purpose of your shoulder cannon. It is possible to create a shoulder cannon build just holding an Unforgiven and shooting things in the head. What's really cool though about this is the alternate playstyles it adds to Zane, the access to ASE. It has very short cooldowns, and there are many cooldown skills within the skill tree. And on top of that, it's just really fun to use. You can literally spam this thing forever. As long as you're shooting and going through your gameplay loops, you will be spamming this shoulder cannon non-stop. And there are also some very, very cool augments. So let's talk about those. Now, the first augment we have is the Colder Shoulder. It converts the shoulder cannon to cryo damage, and it also gives you more cryo efficiency, but it does take a 10% damage hit. Now, this augment's cool if you want to use cryo damage on your shoulder cannon. Obviously, it'll just make it more powerful against armored enemies rather than shielded enemies, but this augment's not really necessary. Next, we have this skill right here called Wet Work. Whenever Zane kills an enemy with the cannon, the enemy explodes into an elemental puddle. Now, this skill does get mayhem scaling, so it is actually pretty decent, but it's not one of my favorites either. Next, we have Brain Drain. Whenever Zane kills an enemy with a crit from the shoulder cannon, 2 charges are instantly returned. Now, this augment is good for a build that wants to go all in on your shoulder cannon and actually using it for mobbing. This augment is not going to be good for bossing or anything like that, but it is actually a very cool one, and I probably will end up using this in a build where we are just using our shoulder cannon for damage. Next, we get into probably the best augment in my opinion, No Way Out. Whenever Zane damages an enemy with his shoulder cannon, that enemy is pulled towards you and takes increased damage for a short time. Additionally, the cooldown is increased, but you won't really notice it too much because there is a lot of cooldown in this skill tree for the shoulder cannon itself. And like it says, enemies take increased damage. This is a 25% debuff. So enemies you hit with the shoulder cannon not only are pulled towards you, which is very, very cool, and you will see some of that in the gameplay breakdown in the description. Definitely go check that out. But they take 25% more damage, which is insane. Finally, we get to the last augment called Proliferation. This gives you 2 additional charges, and your cannon gets 20% more damage per charge that you have. So once again, this goes towards using the shoulder cannon as an actual weapon. Also, I actually do end up using this augment a lot just because we can spam the shoulder cannon a lot more with C and red. We get to activate our kill skills, like a lot of them. We get 5 kill skill activations and 5 action skill end activations. It's actually pretty insane. Now, with that all being said and that all out of the way, let's go into the skills, and I'm just going to break them down for you guys from everything I've tested and everything I know. So the first skill we have here is Man of Focus. Activating an action skill grants Zane increased accuracy and handling for a short time, and this affects stacks. Now, this skill is actually very good and very cool. I actually probably only recommend 1 to 2 points in this skill. Since you can get up to 10 stacks and you will be spamming your shoulder cannon, you probably should have, maybe about 3 to 4 stacks of this at all time. And that'll give you a nice accuracy and handling bonus. I've only stuck 1 point into this in most builds that I'm playing with, and I am spamming my shoulder cannon the whole time, and this skill is pretty much always active. Next, we have Renegade. After scoring a critical hit, Zane regenerates health for a short time. At 3 out of 3 points, we get up to 1.5% max health per second. Now, I don't really recommend this skill. 1.5% max health is not that much, and there are better tier 1 skills, especially the next one we're going to go over is actually really cool. On top of that, Zane's survivability comes from his barrier and the kill skill Salvation. So lifesteal and the barrier is all the survivability you'll ever need. Next, we have this skill right here, Deja Vu. Now this one is very, very cool. Whenever Zane kills an enemy with a crit, there's a chance for 1 ammo to be added to his magazine. This is a 56% chance at 5 out of 5 points. So if you are sniping, if you're using a Hellwalker, you can get ammo back to your mag, and it's very, very awesome in my opinion. I really enjoy this skill. Now, obviously, this won't be good for fast-firing weapons like the Light Show or the Monarch or the Redistributor or something like that. And all those guns I just named are very good with this skill tree, but this is still a very cool skill, and I definitely will be using this for some sniping builds. Next, we have Headsman's Hand. This is a kill skill where Zane gets increased crit damage. Now, let me go ahead and take off the See Undead class mod because it is boosting our kill skill effectiveness. At 5 out of 5 points, you will get 20% crit damage with the See Undead on. You get 25% crit damage, and with Death Follows Close, you get, I believe, 30% crit damage, and this stacks twice. So that is a load of crit damage for a tier 2 skill. You definitely want 5 out of 5 points into this skill. It is Zane's first non-gun damage skill in any of his skill trees. Definitely take this skill almost every single time. Next, we have Tunnel Vision. While moving, Zane gains increased accuracy and handling. The quicker Zane moves, the greater the bonus. So it is 30% at default walk speed. If you are using Violent Speed, this should always be maxed. Now, I don't really know if I would recommend Tunnel Vision or Man of Focus. I do recommend taking at least one of these skills because they are very, very good. So depending on what kind of player you are, if you're the sniping player, Man of Focus is going to be a little better. But if you're the run and gun player, Tunnel Vision might be a little bit easier to keep up. Next, we have Commitment. Now, this skill at first glance might not look very strong, but this is actually probably the most powerful skill in the skill tree. And I'm going to explain to you why. It is a kill skill that gives Zane gun damage and action skill cooldown rate. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, how is this the most powerful skill in the skill tree if it gives freaking gun damage? Well, this kill skill stacks, and there is no stack limit. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and put on our See Undead class mod. Let's go ahead and swap over to a gun like the Light Show, and let's just start going to town. You guys will see Commitment here in a second. Actually, I don't see it. Commitment. Oh, there it is. All right, see how we have 7 stacks of Commitment? Oh, I don't have See in Red right now. All right, 8 stacks of Commitment. I don't have See in Red. I don't have Death Follows Close. I don't have a full build right now. But if you guys check out some of that gameplay footage that, I shot it out a couple times, go watch it, seriously. When we're using guns like the Reflex, when we're using guns like the Redistributor, when we have all of our fire rate bonuses on our Light Show, I have gotten this skill up to 50 stacks, 60 stacks, 70 stacks, and it is 30% gun damage at 1 stack with See Undead and Death Follows Close. So do the math. 30 times 50 is 1,500% gun damage while you're using a Redistributor or a Reflex. Even with a Light Show, I believe we can maintain 15 to 20 stacks. That is 20 times 30 is 600% gun damage. And cooldown rate. 600% cooldown rate. Like I said, you will be spamming your shoulder cannon You will always be debuffing enemies with the action skill augment. You will always be pulling enemies closer to you, which is just very awesome. And you could shoot them in the head with a Hellwalker or something. This is a very strong skill, possibly the strongest in the skill tree. Hopefully it doesn't get nerfed by launch, but we'll see. Next, we have Fugitive. This is the run and gun skill. Zane can sprint and shoot at the same time. Everybody's been asking for the skill forever now, and they finally gave it to us in the purple tree. Not much more to say about it, but it's very cool. Next, we've got this skill called Domino Effect. Whenever Zane scores a critical hit, he gains increased fire rate and reload speed for a short time. If he scores a crit with his action skill, this doubles the effect. So it is 20% reload speed and 15% fire rate. This can become 40% reload speed and 30% fire rate. This skill is pretty powerful, I'm gonna be honest, but I don't think it's necessarily a must-have skill. It depends on your build. Like if you're using Monarchs and Light Shows, definitely take this skill. Redistributor, probably definitely take this skill. But it's not necessarily a must-have skill, just because Zane already has his blue tree, where he has tons of fire rate and reload speed. But yeah, if you want to make it like a purple tree where you don't go too deep into blue, then this is an option for you. And this is a very, very strong skill. Just saying, like, yeah. Next, we're going to cover the skill, the Art of War. After activating an action skill or action skill ability, Zane's next shot fired from his weapon deals increased damage. This effect stacks. So basically, after activating an action skill, that's obvious. Action skill ability. This means when Zane points his drone, swaps places with his clone, picks up or drops his barrier. Any of those things, and it will stack this skill. Now, I do believe this is a skill for like sniping. It's a skill where you're gonna wanna stack it up and then get a nice snipe off. Now, this skill is also just gun damage. Once again, unfortunately, I do wish it was another form of damage, but at the same time, at 10 stacks, it is 150% gun damage, which is not a small bonus. And if you are not using See Undead and Commitment, that is not a bonus to laugh at. I do believe this is more of a sniping skill. So if you want to make like a stand still and snipe Zane build with like an Executor class mod, and I will be making one of those builds with this skill, that's when you're going to want to use it. Next, we have Sheer Will. Zane gains increased action skill cooldown rate. Scoring a critical hit increases this effect, and this effect stacks. So at 3 out of 3 points, we get 15% cooldown rate at base, and then 7.5% after a critical hit, which times 15 is somewhere around 130% cooldown. I forget the exact number, but it's like something like that. Yeah, real descriptive, right? Anyways, that is a lot of freaking cooldown. Once again, I believe this is more of a sniping skill when you're not using something like Commitment and See Undead. Now, Commitment and See Undead is going to be the most cooldown rate ever. But once again, with like a really cool sniping build, Sheer Will, I think might be a must-have if you're using the shoulder cannon for sure. Alrighty guys, next we have a very, very awesome skill. It is called Eraser. Zane's critical hits pierce through enemies for all weapons, dealing increased damage for every enemy pierced. So let me show you guys how this skill works. Basically, let's take our Sandhawk right here. When we shoot through the enemy, you don't see any bullet behind him. Let's score a headshot, and you see those bullets go right through. So this is a very powerful skill for mobbing because you can blow up a group of enemies, triggering Hollow Point multiple times, getting Eraser to go through them. Imagine if like an ion cannon shot goes through an enemy's head into another one. And then it is also very powerful for bossing if you can line up a mob in front of that boss. This is just a very freaking cool skill. And another thing I want to point out is this 120%. It's hard to do in-depth testing with this skill, but I do believe this is just a multiplicative damage bonus. It is not gun damage from what I could tell, and I couldn't really tell anything beyond that. I will try to get better testing on this skill, but it's not gun damage, and that's all I care about. And yeah, this is very, very, very cool. Tell me in the comment section down below how cool you think this skill is. I just think it's awesome. And by the way, this is not a sniping skill. When I am using my redistributor, every shot that crits has a potential to hit another enemy and then chain again. So this is a very, very good skill for any weapon, pretty much in like pretty much any weapon you can use. It just has so much potential to do a lot of different stuff. And I recommend taking this skill no matter what guns you're using. Finally, we get to the Capstone, our man Flynt. While aiming down the sights, Zane's weapons deal bonus damage and automatically apply their status effect when he scores a critical hit. Bonus damage, 25% of damage dealt. So this Capstone, simply gives us more damage for aiming down our sights. You can see we went from 330, or I guess we have CN dead. All right, let me take this off. Anyways, you can see we go from 405k to 422k, and, or I'm sorry, 338 to 422. 338, 422. And what's awesome about this capstone is, once again, it is not gun damage. This is considered V2. So this is additive with like shotgun damage, sniper damage, the icebreaker, but it's a very good capstone. Once again, it just gives you like pretty much a multiplicative bonus for just aiming down your sights. Very good, very strong. I am a fan of this capstone, and I can't wait to make some sniping builds. This tree is so awesome. That's my impression of it. Not only is there, like, you know, the broken See and Dead commitment build, but there is also a sleeper sniper build in the skill tree, between Deja Vu, between the Art of War, between Eraser, between Sheer Will, and all this crit damage right here, this accuracy and handling. This is low-key a sniping tree, giving debuffs and pulling enemies closer to you so you can snipe them easier. This is a very cool skill tree. I am a huge fan of the skill tree, and I can't wait to show you guys my first build with it. I won't be posting that until these skill trees officially reveal. That's probably going to be my first video, I mean, besides the patch notes video. But that is it for Zane's brand new skill tree. I am super happy and super excited about it. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. And I don't even know how to end this video. I don't even want to end it. I just can't wait to play the skill tree on stream today. Come check it out, twitch.tv/thickfillet_. And like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. But I'm going to have to cut it right there. That's going to be it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.